In the world of professional bull riding, there are rank bulls, and then there are the monsters. Two names stand alone at the top of the mountain of broken bones and shattered dreams. One was known as the Yellow Whale, a 1,100-pound wrecking ball that sent legends to the operating table. The other was a tactical genius, with a 42-ride win streak that made the best in the world look like amateurs. Today, we're settling the ultimate debate: Bodacious versus Bushwacker. One was feared for your life, the other was feared for your pride. Who was truly the greatest to ever leave the chute? Welcome back to Last Rodeo. If you've spent any time around the dirt, you know these two names carry a weight that most humans can't comprehend. We're looking at two different eras of dominance. In one corner, we have the 1990s icon, Bodacious. He didn't just buck you off, he tried to put you through the floorboards. In the other, we have the modern-day king, Bushwacker. A bull so dominant he became a household name even to people who had never seen a spur. Today, we're breaking down the stats, the styles, and the sheer carnage to see which of these legends reign supreme. But before we climb into the bucking chute, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're dedicated to preserving the history of the toughest sport on earth, and you don't want to miss our upcoming deep dive on the Lane Frost legacy, Bodacious, the Yellow Whale. Let's go back to 1992. When Bodacious entered the arena, the atmosphere changed. It wasn't just excitement, it was genuine, palpable fear. Bodacious wasn't just big, he was smart, and he was violent. Between 1992 and 1995, Bodacious was the undisputed terror of the Perka. He had a buck-off rate of 94.1%. To put that in perspective, out of 135 documented attempts during his peak, only 8 men ever saw the whistle. But it's not the percentage that people remember, it's the way he did it. He had a move called the head snap. Most bulls drop their front end and kick. Bodacious would drop his front, then violently throw his head back toward the rider's face. It was a tactical strike. In 1995, he famously met the legendary Tuff Hedeman at the National Finals Rodeo. In less than 2 seconds, Bodacious brought his head up, smashed into Tuff's face, and literally broke every major bone in Hedeman's facial structure. Tuff needed 13 hours of reconstructive surgery. A few nights later, Scott Bredding tried to ride him wearing a hockey mask for protection. Bodacious broke the mask and knocked Bredding unconscious. This wasn't just sport anymore, it was a liability. He was so dangerous that his owner, Sammy Andrews, retired him at the height of his career just to prevent someone from being killed in the arena. That is a level of rank we haven't seen since. Bushwacker, the tactician. Now, let's fast forward to 2009. Enter Bushwacker. If Bodacious was a sledgehammer, Bushwacker was a surgeon. He didn't rely on headbutting you, he relied on sheer, unadulterated power and timing. Bushwacker's stats are quite frankly ridiculous. On the PBR's Premier Tour, he had a 96.97% buck-off rate. He went on a 42-ride buck-off streak against the best riders in the world. We're talking about world champions being tossed like ragdolls in 3 seconds. Only 3 men ever covered him for the full 8 seconds in his entire career. JB Mauney, the Dragon Slayer himself, finally snapped that streak in 2013. In what is considered one of the greatest rides in history. What made Bushwacker different was his hop and snap. He would leap so high into the air that riders felt weightless, and then he would snap his back with such force that it created a centrifugal force no human could sit through. He didn't send as many men to the hospital as Bodacious, but he sent more men home with bruised egos and empty pockets than perhaps any bull in history. Head to head, the comparison. Let's look at the tail of the tape. Point 1. The stats. Bushwacker takes the edge here. A 96.97% buck-off rate compared to Bodacious's 94.1%. Bushwacker also has 3 PBR World Champion Bull titles, while Bodacious was the Perka Bull of the Year twice. Point 2. The danger factor. This goes to Bodacious, hands down. While Bushwacker was unrideable, Bodacious was unsurvivable. The injury list for Bodacious includes legends like Tuff Hedeman and Terry Don West. He was a bull that forced riders to change their equipment and eventually forced his own retirement for the safety of the sport. Point 3. The style. Bodacious was about the forward and back violence, the headbutt. Bushwacker was about the vertical and lateral power. Bushwacker was a better athlete, but Bodacious was a better fighter. I want to hear from you in the comments right now. If you're a rider, which one are you more afraid to see in the chute? The bull that will definitely buck you off, or the bull that might end your career? Let us know. Team Bodacious or Team Bushwacker? Determining who was better depends on what you value in a bull. If you value a legendary, undefeated style dominance and pure athleticism, Bushwacker is your king. He proved that even with modern training and better safety gear, a bull can still be nearly impossible to conquer. But if you value the raw, terrifying power that defined the golden age of rodeo, a bull that became a myth because he was simply too dangerous to keep riding, then Bodacious stands alone. He is the only bull to ever be retired because he was just too good at hurting people. In the end, both bulls did something incredible. They became bigger than the sport itself. If you enjoyed this trip down rodeo memory lane, do us a favor, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm show these stories to more fans of the sport. And if you want to see more comparisons like this, check out our video on the top 5 most dangerous riders of all time, right here. Thanks for watching Last Rodeo. We'll see you in the dirt.